Yes, good morning. Good morning to everybody. Football Heritage TV here live. Just a quick one this morning because I am doing a watch along at 12:15 for Chelsea away at Luton Town. Luton Town, who are doing quite well considering, and Chelsea, who are having a very difficult time. This morning, I want to talk to you about Tottenham Hotspur. We all know that there's a search for a centre-back going on. We all got very excited the other week when we thought it was going to be Jean-Claire Todibo. Well, more news has come out in the last 24 hours. Lots of people have been talking about this guy for a while now. And I'm not sure where we're going, which direction. Is it a case that we wanted Jean-Claire Todibo, but it's too difficult to do, so they've moved on to other options? Is it a case that Dragusin is our first choice? Is Todibo a bit of a smokescreen? Is it just a case of multiple eggs in the basket and then we'll pick one at the end? What do you reckon? Where are we going with this? First of all, let me show you what I mean. Good morning to absolutely everyone. As you come in, we're only going to be going for 25 minutes, half an hour. So smash that like button. It's rude not to, I've been told. That's just a rumor that I've heard within the industry, that it's really, really rude not to smash that like button. So please do on your way in. That would be much appreciated. Yes. So let's have a look. This is what Fabrizio Romano announced yesterday. He's tweeted again today, but this is what he said yesterday. He said that exclusive. I mean, I don't think it was an exclusive that Tottenham want a new centre-back. I'm not sure that's what he meant when he said exclusive, but exclusive news, Tottenham want a new centre-back to join next week. Next week. Now, that's the encouraging thing, right? As a Tottenham fan, is that we're hearing next week. Not sometime in January or possibly January, but definitely the summer. What I like is about next week. I think Ange knows and realises, he probably knew this in the summer, that you can't hope for success if you've got two first-choice centre-halves and then the rest are players like Davis, Royale and Dyer. You just can't. So plans are ready, he goes on to say. He then says, Tottenham have approached Genoa for Radu Dragusin. Now, lots of people have been talking about this guy in many streams. Everyone keeps talking about, oh my God, we want Radu Dragusin. This guy's brilliant. So we'll look into him in a little bit more detail for any of those that haven't seen him play, currently playing for Genoa. And what Romano has said is that a formal bid could be sent soon to advance in talks. Now, he has also gone on this morning to say that Dragusin is very interested in joining Tottenham as well. And without being rude, I would expect that to be the case. Genoa are not a good team, but I do think that we are that next level up. And I would like to think that we can go to clubs like Genoa and take a player like Radu Dragusin. Listen, it goes on to say that talks continue for Jean-Claire Todibo, but Spurs will not wait forever. Next days will be crucial to decide. Let's be brutally honest. We can read between the lines of anything, but we will not wait forever. What does that tell you? That tells you this is going to be a very, very difficult deal to get over the line for Jean-Claire Todibo, and probably the OGC Nice, who are going well, not conceding goals. They've got the second best defence in Europe. I'm just going to have a quick look at the French league table. I'm pretty sure they're second in the table, unless something happened last week. Nice are second in the table. So currently they are going back into the Champions League. They are 7 points clear of the fifth place team. So Nice probably will not want to lose. They will not want to lose their best centre half. Now, Nice have only conceded 9 goals. That's the second best defence in Europe. Let me just double check that's correct as of this week. Inter Milan have conceded 8. Nice have conceded 9. And let's be brutally honest, that is wonderful. Whatever league you're in, to have only conceded 8 or 9 goals after 18, 19 games is very good. So I understand why Nice will do all they can. I'm guessing the question here is, what is Postecoglou's first choice versus how far away is the second choice from being a good option for him? Now, Goes on to say that both Todibo and Dragusin have been approved by Ange Postecoglou, who wants a new centre-back. You would love to think that they've been approved by the manager, right? You would love to. No more of this, so-and-so signed because Levy wants him or this scout wanted him. It needs to be that, hey, Postecoglou has said, yes, right? Yes, I want this guy. So, positive news there. And then he's gone on to ask, who's your favourite centre-back candidate for Spurs? Blah, 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 blah. So, I'm going to start asking you guys some questions, and then we're going to have a little look into Dragusin. I've seen him play this year a couple of times with Genoa and Romania. An interesting centre-half. I summed it up yesterday on Time Added On, where I said that for me, he is a centre-half that loves to defend. He's very good on the ball. His short passing, as I went through yesterday with Sean, isn't amazing, but his long-range passing is very, very good. But he's a warrior. He's a battler. He loves the tackle. He loves the battle in the air. He loves the ground duel. He loves the physical element of being a centre-back. And more importantly than anything, you've got to have centre-backs that want to defend. And I always go on about this, that when I look at players that may not be sexy, so to speak, when I look at the likes of Lewis Dunk, when I look at the likes of Tarkowski, Cody, these sort of defenders, are they silky smooth on the ball? Are they these amazing, sexy names that everyone wants to buy? No, but week in, week out throughout their careers, they've done a job. They are solid, they are dependable, and first and foremost, their first thought is, how do I stop the ball going in the back of the net? Now, this has been somewhat of a dying art in defending in the last sort of 10 years, because everyone just, the first thing they say is, oh, but can he bring the ball out? Now, okay, that's important. But if you're playing alongside someone that can bring the ball out, it's not as important. And both Romero and Van der Ven can bring the ball out. So for me, I think it's more important that you bring someone in who's a good, solid defender that doesn't concede. And also, I think I saw something yesterday where he's had 1 or 2 yellow cards this season. I think one was for Romania and one was for Genoa. I mean, that's an absolutely fantastic achievement, isn't it? Because we've got some hotheads at our club. So it would be good to have someone that is not as hot-headed, but still loves the element of defending. So where are we at with this? Let's have a look. First and foremost, before we carry on, there's 140 of you in here and 32 likes. Come up, before we do anything, can we smash that like button? Come on, this is my life. This is my business. This is what I do. Smash that like button, please. Let's get that up towards 100 immediately. And now we're going to have a little look at Radu Dragusin's Wikipedia page, just so I can show you what's happened. Because for some of those that don't know, he was taken to Juventus very young. Didn't play a lot there, and then went on loan a couple of times before he had a buyout option. Before he had a loan to buy option with Genoa. So let's have a little look at that. Let's share the screen and we'll show you that. So hopefully you can all see that. Is that big enough? Is that large enough? Let me see if I can make that a tiny bit bigger for you all. There we go. Is that bigger? There we go. That should be bigger. You can see there, look, 21 years of age. He's going to be 22 in 2 months' time. So a really good age. And it would then mean as well that you've got Mickey Van der Ven, and you've got Radu Dragusin, who will both be 22 and 23 respectively when Van der Ven hits his birthday. So from that point of view, I think it bodes well. Romero is 25, 26. So you'll have 3 centre-backs. None of them are going to be 32, 33, 34. And then you don't have to worry for a little while about any of them nearing retirement. It also means that if one of them leaves in the future, in the next couple of years, that you're not panicking, that you've got another centre-back pairing and then you replace them. So for me, that's really important. So let's have a look. So Radu Dragusin, you can see there he was taken to Juventus at a young age. Only played 1 senior first-team game for them before he went on loan to Sampdoria, then went on loan to Salernitana, then went on loan in 22-23. So last season to Genoa. And that's the important season because that's the season where he's got most of his experience. 38 games in the league for Genoa. He's played every league game and has kicked on this season and is having another very impressive season for Genoa. So it's a really good option. If we go down, we can look at. Oh, sorry, that's not. We look at Dragusin. It will show you here that his early career. It was persuaded by his football by his cousin, joined the youth squads, and then moved up the ranks within Romania. And then apparently Chelsea, PSG, and Atletico Madrid all wanted him, and he opted to go to Juventus. You can see there that he's had loans to Sampdoria, Salernitana, then went to Genoa, and then they signed him for a fee of around 5.5 million euros with a 1.8 million conditional bonus added in. You can see here as well, Dragusin was called up to the Romania senior team back in March of 2022 and made his debut. The following year, he started in all 10 matches of the Euro 2024 qualifiers. Now, let's see what they've got. I've not read this. Let's see what they've got to say about his style. They have said this. This is quite an interesting one, isn't it? A tall, physical centre-back. Now, he is a bit of a specimen, but it goes on here to see Dragusin has been cited as a Virgil van Dijk as a point of reference. Now, I'm always skeptical when people want to start chucking in, oh my God, the next Virgil van Dijk. Oh my God, the next this, the next that, the next this. I'm always skeptical when I see these things, but having watched him play, he is a bit of a specimen. Can he hit those heights? I mean, who knows? That if he's 21, no pressure needs to be applied. It says here, Van Dijk as a point of reference with whom he has since been compared to for his confidence in possession and his positional sense. Now, for me, his positional sense is something that whenever I've watched him play, he looks very good. He looks very good in terms of positional sense. And I think for me, that is really key with centre-backs. Not just their ability on the ball and their ability to bring it out, but where to be when the danger is sniffing around. I like that. It also goes on to say here that Dragusin has played as a right back on occasion, which is always good because then what you've got, let's get rid of this screen now. Then what you've got, for me, this is the important thing. And I was talking with Alan Time Added On and Sean from Spurs Talk Show last night. If you bring in Dragusin, it then allows you to have three centre-backs that compete. None of this, oh, but who sits on the bench? Oh, but, who gets dropped for this? Right? No, none of that. Let's not. By the way, I will get to all your comments in a minute once we've gone through this. None of that. For me, none of the, oh my God, we got two and then a backup. No. Then we will have three very good, competent centre-halves. But more important than that, you've got three very, very good, competent centre-halves that, if needed, can all play at fullback. Romero has been known to play at right back. Van der Ven is a very competent left back, and Dragusin can play centre back and right back. So what that allows you to do against more physical teams, all three can play in one variation or another. So Van der Ven, if a doggy was out, for example, Van der Ven can go at left back with Romero and Dragusin at centre half. Equally, if Porro's out, Dragusin could go to right back. Now, he's obviously a very different player, but it's still a player that can play that position. So for me, I think this is wonderful. This is the type of signing. I know people always have a go at me for being negative. This is the type of signing where I look at and go, yes, 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 yes. These are the right moves. This is proper squad building. Proper squad building, bringing in players that can play multiple positions, bringing in players of the right profile for the short term, medium term, and long term. No more of this. Oh well, we put a plaster over surgery. No, we're actually performing surgery on what is needed for surgery. Really, really important for me. So the Dragusin signing for me would be very good. Now, I'm not saying I'll be disappointed if we get to Debo. I'd love to Debo. I think it's really positive that it looks like we're in talks with both and that we want to get one of them over the line in the first week of the transfer window. For me, these are positives, real positives. what that then allows as well, and I'm coming to your comments in a second, what that then allows for me, and let me know if you agree, if you've got Van der Ven, Romero, Dragusin, you've then got Dorrington and Phillips in behind them, learning, growing. You've then got Romero as the experienced one, Van der Ven with the next, then Dragusin, then Phillips, then Dorrington. I'm not saying in terms of ability. I'm talking about in terms of experience. One goes, look, Romero could leave in a couple of years. Somebody else comes in. You bring another young 21, 22-year-old centre-half, plus the young lad that's coming over from Croatia in a couple of years. So for me, this is proper squad building. Proper squad building. This is what I've been crying out for. This is very, very exciting if we can get one of these two over the line. Equally, let's look at the long term. I know a lot of people will say things like, you know, as I said, who sits on the bench? How do you keep them all happy? Look, Tottenham Hotspur, I'm going to say this confidently, we will get European football this year. We will get European football this year. I'm not going to sit here confidently and say whether it's Champions League, Europa League, Conference League. We will, though, have European football. And any club that's in European football, you've got to have a squad and you've got to have options. I'll ask you this. Our squad right now, people will go, oh my God, we want to go to Europe. We needed to be in Europe this year. Can you imagine this squad playing twice a week? Let's be brutally honest. We're watching what's happened to Brighton, Newcastle. It's a struggle. The bigger clubs, the Arsenals, the Liverpools, the Cities, they're used to this. They're used to playing 2 games a week and rotating their players. Right? Newcastle and Brighton doing it for the first time in a long time. You can see it's difficult. It's very difficult. Very difficult to do. And that's the position we're going to be in next year. So we need to have options. You need to have 3 or 4 competent centre-backs. You need 2 right-backs, 2 left-backs. You need 6 or 7 central midfielders. You need 3 strikers, 4 wingers. You've got to have options. So for me, I think this is good squad building for the short term, as I said, the medium term and the long term. So this, for me, is the first time in a very long time that I'm looking at it and going, yes, this is what's needed. Romero misses a hell of a lot of football, people. I'm not talking about his ability. He misses a lot of football throughout his career. Van der Ven's got a bad injury. And just from the nature of how we play, you get the feeling that hamstring could go again because of the recoveries that he's going to have to do. So you've got to have 1, if not 2, other centre-halves that can all play. Yeah? So none of this, for me, moving forward, none of this worrying about who plays. I want to see, and I know I'm waffling on here, but I'm excited by this type of news. Yeah, this is the type of news that makes me think, what can Spurs do in the next 3, 4, 5 years? Right? This is what makes me think, what can we be? And as I've said, when people talk to me about, just believe we can win the league this year, I don't care about this year. And take that for how I mean it. This for me isn't about 1 year. This for me is about what are we aiming to be as a football club in 5 years' time, in a decade, in 20 years' time. What foundations do we want to lay down right now to create a club philosophy? Because we lost that for years. For 23 years, we've lost that. We've gone in and out of different philosophies, in and out of different structures, in and out of different types of signings. This, to me, is what we need. But not just one. This can't just be, we've done it as centre-half. For me, I think we need this up front. I think I need this out wide. Now, not all in one window. I'm not saying, come on, January, let's get a striker, 2 wingers, 2 fullbacks and 2 centre-halves. But this is what we need to do. Every window, 1 or 2 drop in that are better than the 1 or 2 leaving. That's the key point. Better than those that are leaving. I don't want to lose Ben Davis and bring in a Lloyd Kelly. No offense. I want to lose a Ben Davis and Dyer and bring in a Todibo and a Dragusin. Yeah? Players that you look at and say, you can take us to the next level. Then we turn around in a year, 2 years' time and say, right, go on, Postecoglou. You've now been given over 4 or 5 windows all the tools. This is now on you. At the moment, it's not all on him, is it? He's had 1 window. It's not all on him. I don't see the pressure on him to need to win anything now. But you do this, Dragusin and a forward this window. The next window, you buy a couple of fullbacks and a winger. The next window, a couple of I'm not saying in that order, but you get the gist of what I'm saying. Then you turn around and go, this is on you. Why is the pressure on Klopp? Why is the pressure on Arteta? Why is the pressure on Pep Guardiola? Because these are their squads. They've built them over a number of years. The pressure is there. For me, it's not there with Postecoglou right now, and neither should it be. So that's why I think I'd love people to understand that when I'm cautious, when I'm not going all over the shop about how brilliant we are, it's because I don't want the pressure on our manager so soon. I want us to build and grow properly. Yeah? Short-term pain for long-term gain. Yeah? That's what I think we need. Short-term pain, long-term gain. All right, let's go to a couple of comments. Let me know what you think. By the way, people, there's 200 of you in it and only 74 likes. Smash that like button, people. If you haven't subscribed to the show yet, I mean, first of all, why not? Second of all, please do. It'll be much appreciated. I'm in a good mood today. Just before I come to your comments, here is the link. There is the link, everybody. It is going to be pinned in the chat right now. If everybody would subscribe, I'd be eternally grateful. So please do that. We're only going to go for another 10 minutes. I'm going to get to some comments quickly. And then at 12:15, I'm going to do Luton Town versus Chelsea in a watch along. Then at 2:45 p.m., I'm going to be doing a live score show for the Premier League games that are going on today. Of course, you've got Aston Villa. They're playing at home to Burnley. Man City are playing at home to Sheffield United. Couple of other games going on in the league as well. Let's have a look at those games. I've got completely out of my head. Aston Villa at home to Burnley, Crystal Palace at home to Brentford, Man City home to Sheffield United, and Wolverhampton Wanderers at home to Everton. Wolves looking to kick on again. It's an interesting one. If Wolves win that, they take themselves 3 points outside of Europe. So there's lots of interesting games today. If Man City win, they go second in the league, 2 points off the top of the table, and everyone's been writing them off. If Aston Villa win, they could end the evening in top spot, depending on goal difference. So it's all looking very, very interesting for today's football. Big up to everyone in the chat. I won't be able to get to everyone, but I will try. Big up Ash, who's become a channel member. Big up to you, Ash. Thank you so much. Hope all is well with you. Good morning to you and your loved ones as well. Let me just get some selected comments. Tottenham NS has said, morning, Sava. Big up. Hope with Lloris leaving now, we'll free up some space for new players. Lloris is one of the big salary earners. Yeah, he's gone. We'll touch on that in a minute. But Hugo Lloris has gone. And listen, I wish him well. He's been a great servant. Stayed a couple of years too long for me. But it is what it is, a magnificent service. And thank you for everything that he has done. Robert has said, not sure about this potential signing, but you never know, it might be good. He's a good player, Robert. Dragusin's a good defender, I promise you. Always, Ash, I'm always hoping we're getting centre-backs in. It's been too many years we've been lackadaisical at buying centre-halves. So I'm glad we got Van der Ven. Now, if we can get to Debo or Dragusin, we start looking like a proper football club, not a football club that have Davis, Dyer, Tanganga, Roden, Sanchez. The multi-channel said Gallagher, Dragusin, Jota will do nicely. I agree. Chabala said we are cooking. Let's see. Let's get them over the line, see if we're cooking. D&B Forever, big up to you. I said, yeah, just want the signings in the right positions and done early. Absolutely, my man. Absolutely. We've got to, we've got to get them in early, but we've got to see the right people. By the way, we've just hit 100 likes. There's 200 of you in here. Come on, 100 of you have not smashed that like button. So please, please, please do. And thank you to the person that did just subscribe. Zane has said he's a centre-back that can play across the back four. Absolutely. Do you know what, Zane? Versatility is so important. Look at Man City. Walker can play centre-half and right-back. Yeah? Ake can play centre-half and left-back. Vardio can play centre-half and left-back. Yeah, Akanji can play right-back, centre-half and centre-mid. John Stones can play right-back, centre-back, centre-mid. You've got to have diversity. You've got to have versatility in your team. Oh, I see. Sorry. I don't know why that came up. I'm sorry. I was thinking a little bit. Hang on. I'm sure Ash was a member. Big up to you, Ash, anyway. And thank you for your continued support. Paula said, yeah, but he's slower than Dyer. Listen, it's not necessarily about that. Top defenders, if they're positionally right, it doesn't matter. We've gone into this thing so much about pace. There's been many top defenders that didn't have pace that were brilliant. Big up to you as well, Bill. Hope you're well, buddy. Big up to you. Phil said that Romanian guy faster than all our defenders minus Van der Ven. It's funny, isn't it, how different people see different things. Someone's saying he's too slow. Someone's saying he's quicker. Interesting. Vinny Rowley, big up. I am very well. Big up to you. Big up to Tyrell Gunner. I hope you're well. Finn has said he watched the Dragusin highlights. The way he comes high up the pitch to intercept and feed back is perfect. He's a very good player. Very good player. Big Phil has said, Romanian guy aggressive. He's aggressive without all the yellow cards, red cards, and suspensions. And this is why I always say to people, everyone loves Romero for being aggressive. You don't need to be aggressive and get reds and yellows. You can be aggressive without it. Listen, top defenders work in any style. Yeah, if you've got Van der Ven, you've got Romero, you've got Dragusin, you've got to have options for all different types of games. We've got to get over this, that we've only got one style of play and that it's going to work every game. You've got to have options. For number of appearances, scored more goals than Richie. Absolutely, my man. Listen, every YouTuber's got their own style, but big up to you. Big up to you. Every YouTuber's got their own style. I like to go through the comments. Always have done. Hopefully it's appreciated by some people. Where are we? Let's have a look. Is this Don Paratici cooking again? Yeah, from his prison cell. Yeah, Don Paratici cooking. Big up to the Don. Spurs FC said Dragusin would be the perfect signing. I think it would be a very, very good signing indeed. He's Larionka has said Ben Davies can chip in. Yeah, for me, I think that this needs to be his last year, and I think you need to start getting better players in for me. This year, I think he can do a job. He's needed. Next year, I don't want to see a Ben Davies at the football club again. Big up Ash. She said, what's up, Sava? I hope you had a good Christmas, mate. Not been about in a while. Dragusin is a big yes from me. Great in the air, which we massively lack. I agree. Listen, options. I feel like this isn't talked about enough, Ash, in football. Having options. People... Spurs fans, we're the worst at it. But who does he replace? Who gets dropped? Will they sit on a bench? No. Stop this. Rotation is everything. You watch today, Man City will rotate some players. Arsenal do it. Liverpool do it. Big clubs do it. Big up to Super Tottenham TV. Hope you are well. Let me try and get through. Liking the optimistic Sava. Azzy, this is the common conception about me that's never right, is that I'm always negative. I'm optimistic when there's something to be optimistic about. I badly wanted Van der Ven. Anyone who knows me will tell you that. I was optimistic. I badly wanted Maddison. I was a big supporter of Vicario when everyone else was going, oh, he's terrible. We don't want him. He can't catch. I will say it as it is. People don't like that. I'll say it as it is. I'm either happy about it or I'm not. I won't sit in the middle and just go, oh, if the club like it, I like it. And everybody subscribe to me because I'm lovely and say the nice things. I want proper football chat with proper opinions. Where are we? Dazra said injury and suspension. Everyone will have plenty of game time. This absolutely. THFC says, Sava, who you personally want. If we're talking about out of these two, I'll take either of them. I like to deep, they're very different. I'd take either of them. I'm not bothered. I'm very happy if we get either of them players in. Absolutely. VDV can also cover left back. Zubamendi's a top player. This guy is a top footballer. I would love to see Zubamendi sign for Tottenham. A wonderful midfield option. He's an upgrade on the likes of Skip, Højbjerg, Sarr, Basuma. I think he's a real top footballer. I think he'll end up at one of the big clubs in Spain, if I'm brutally honest. I think he looks like a Barcelona player. But Paul, not everyone has to be quick. Romero's not the quickest, is he? And everyone loves him. It's not that he's really slow. He's just not I think the thing is, that's why you've got Van der Ven. All right. Romero is a big loss. Of course, Romero's a big loss. We've got no competent centre halves behind him. Of course, he's a big loss. But it was always going to be that way, right? This isn't new. It was always going to be that way. Van der Ven, for me, is the biggest loss, followed by Romero. They're always going to be big losses because we don't have any competent centre halves behind them. Where are we? AF in Oz has said, watching Dragusin's highlights, he'll sure take the focus off Romero's aggression. Do you know what, though? He doesn't get booked with it. He doesn't get booked with it. I think he's a bit smarter up there. There we go. Strasbourg, Steve, my man, how you doing, bro? Has said, hang on, who's this? Who's that? I said Dragusin was excellent for Genoa again last night. Yeah, Genoa. I think he's a really good player, Steve. I'm sure you've seen him loads. I think he's a really good defender, proper defender. Balls Light account says, Sav, please don't do too much footballer content. Make time for make her a meal, make her feel. Sure. What a weird thing to say. That person is being blocked. Sorry, I didn't know what that was going to be until I read it. Let's block that. That's really, really weird. You don't have to talk about me and my wife. It's weird. Please, can people stop doing that? It's weird. Absolutely, he is not slower than Dyer. Absolutely. Orange Fantasy, hi Savo. Would you rather have Dragusin or Todibo? I'll take either. I'm not bothered. I just like that we're in chats with these types of players. You know, it's been a long time. Paul has said not many teams play as high. Paul, you're not going to... Right, I don't understand what you're saying, Paul. Both Romero and Van der Ven aren't lightning quick. Van der Ven is lightning quick. Romero's not. Romero's the average speed, I would say, of other centre-halves. I don't know why we're getting this thing that only really quick players can play in that formation. That's not true at all. Top defenders play with this, with positional sense. Top defenders do. SOS said most fan want to tap Zoba over EV in the summer. He's been brilliant. Don't know how much. Yes, and I wanted both. SOF, I'm sure you know enough about my content now. I wanted both. Tapsoba's an excellent centre half. Just looks like he signed the new contract. Looks like it's never going to happen because of how much he's going to cost. Edward has said Dragusin is strong and a powerhouse as a centre back. Yeah, absolutely. Bottom. I'm just going to push my Luton Town watch along back till where should we do? Let's put that back to 12:25, shall we? Let's put it back to 12:25. Boom, boom, boom. Let's save those changes. There we go. Put it back to 12:25. Sorry about that. Yeah, not for me. Not after this year. I just think he's been here too long now. I'm looking at bigger, better. I want to win things. Not now. I want to win things. I want bigger. I want better. I want us to stop having players. Man Cities don't have Ben Davises hanging around the club. Liverpool don't have Ben Davises hanging around the club. We've got to think bigger and better for me. Bigger, better. Mark, big up Mark Changor said Spurs definitely need more than two competent centre-backs. We saw West Ham having to play their two backup centre-halves at the... Right. West Ham have got four very competent centre-halves. Kurt Zouma, Agurd, Mavropanos and Ogbonna. How have West Ham got four and we've only got two? Right? So you've got to. I agree with you, Mark. Absolutely agree with you. Jay says, Savic, if we sell Davis, I would like Gatudia, the right back from Feyenoord, who can also play centre-back. Loving that as a suggestion. These are the types of players I look at and go, yeah, let's get some versatility. Let's get some... you know what it is as well? Unfortunately, for people like Ben Davis and Tanganga and Dyer and Basuma and Højbjerg and Skip, they've been at the club so long, I've got bored of them. I know that sounds harsh, but you know when you get bored of watching the same players year in, year out? So it's going to be really, really interesting. Tony has said, is the game live on Sky tomorrow? It is, right? It is live on Sky, isn't it? Somebody will... Let's have a look. I'll tell you what, I can find out for you, can't I? Here we go. The game is tomorrow, Sunday, Premier League, Tottenham v Bournemouth. I don't know if it is. I don't think it is. I've got a feeling the Fulham-Arsenal game will be. Yeah, Fulham-Arsenal is the game. Unfortunately, it's not us. It's not us tomorrow. Apologies. By the way, thank you for the couple of people who have just subscribed. Could we get 3 or 4 more before we end in the next 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes, however long I'll go on for? That would be amazing. The link is in the chat. Mark has said, Romero is someone you cannot rely on. We knew this before the start of the season. Listen, I think I think Romero is a fantastic defender, but misses too much football. Factually, not my opinion, factually misses so much football. It's unreal. Romero is a bigger loss than VDV for me. We had VDV in against Fulham in the League Cup without Romero, and we were terrible. John, you can't say that. The whole team was changed. Sorry, John, that's got to go down as the worst opinion of the day. Van der Ven was the only player of the 11 that kept his place in that game. He's playing with all of the reserves, and we're going to base it off that. If anyone doesn't see this formation and think that Van der Ven is the bigger miss, I don't know what to tell you. For the style of I don't know what to tell you if you don't get that. Sorry, that's madness. Shema said, hey, Sava, we've conceded an average of 3 goals a game with the free fullbacks defensively since November. We have the second worst GA in the league. Would playing Phillips and Donnelly be any worse? Listen, Dorrington, I've already said I would. I would. I don't see what you gain from playing Emerson Royal at centre half, where you could be blooding in someone like an Ashley Phillips and giving them game time. Especially, we conceded 4 to Brighton anyway. Yeah, we looked like we were going to concede 7 or 8. Could Phillips have done any worse? Bill has said, don't know if you covered it, but I see Chelsea, Gallagher starting for Chelsea again today. Yeah, I don't think they're going to sell him. He plays every game. He's their captain. I can't see why they'd sell him. By the way, I'll get to the Chelsea stuff when I do the Chelsea watch along. And thank you to the person who did just subscribe. I'm 4 away from today's target. So if anyone would like to, that would be amazing. Lloris leaving just saved us 100K a week. That surely has to improve the budget. Absolutely. It's what you got to do. Players out, their salary on someone new. The club aren't silly. They'll get that done. They've got to get that done. Mr. Abbey said, is Romero generally injury prone? Well, I mean, as we went through it yesterday, when you looked at the number of minutes missed season by season in his career, Romero misses a mad amount of minutes every season. Unfortunately, that's just true. News just coming from Damasio that we're ready to pay the fee for Dragusin. That would be absolutely amazing. Mark, I agree. He will. I think he will. When you are that quick and you play this style of recovery, I think there are going to be times where that hamstring goes. Unfortunately, that's just the nature of it. Is his goal still a thing? I thought that ended ages ago. Asher said Damasio is a fraud. I love it. Damasio is a fraud. I agree, Paul, with this one. I think VDV's the better player and younger, calmer, not as rash, just a much better player all round for me. But all 3 will be needed. Whoever the new one is, plus Romero, plus Van der Ven, you've got to have different types, right? They don't all have to be as good as each other. Different skill sets for different games. By the way, I really do appreciate everyone joining me for this morning show. Smash the like button. We're going to go for 2 or 3 more minutes. You've also got the Old Firm that are playing. I believe the Old Firm are playing right now. Let me have a look. Have I made that up? Or is it... Sorry, they're playing in 20 minutes, aren't they? They're playing in 20 minutes. So that's going to be an interesting game as well. Listen, everybody, please, thank you very much for joining. Please smash the like button. Please subscribe on your way out. I will be live in about 10 minutes to watch Chelsea versus Luton at Luton. Should be a good game. Going to be an interesting one for both managers. Much love. Really enjoyed that quick 38 minutes. We'll do one of these every day. Quick catch-ups. Much love. Take care. And as always, come on, you Spurs.